More Chinese and Asian actors are also finding success in Hollywood. They're also seeing better representation in Western films. But the U.S. film industry is still sometimes being accused of whitewashing. My colleague Mike Walters spoke to Afra Zhao Wang for more.
Whitewash is always, go with this neo-colonialization of Hollywood because, the strong Hollywood industry is deeply influencing historically, economically more deprived countries, such as, China. So really, whitewashing or at least perceiving a lot of characters is really internalized by the Chinese audience. But, in recent years, I'm really glad to see this great awakening against these characters who are being, sort of whitewashed. I think Mulan is a very good example. I think the decision that Disney decided to cast a Chinese actress as Mulan, this very classic Disney princess that influenced generations of American children, is casted as a Chinese famous actress. This is a leap forward, I believe.
Do you think when it comes to the stereotypes that we see and the concerns about that perhaps those are erased if we see more directors and writers that are Chinese, perhaps more studio executives? I mean, what are the changes you think could have a specific impact?
So I particularly remember a lot of scenes in Hollywood movies that there is this Chinese character or Fan Bingbing or Li Bingbing sometimes would appear in this particularly catered Chinese version of film would appear on the big screen, but in the U.S. version, those characters don't exist anymore, meaning that Hollywood are deliberately making two versions of film. One version is for Chinese to make more money out of Chinese people, and one version is for the domestic U.S. audience. So I will see this sort of, I would say, faking representation will disappear one day. And what I see is really with more Chinese capitals floating into Hollywood, I see more authentic representation will appear.
You've got Chinese companies now co-financing a lot of Hollywood productions. Is that going to have an impact, do you think? I mean, what are the steps that need to be taken in order to where we really start to see a change when it comes to diversity and different representations?
Well, I think including Chinese elements or including Chinese cast is beyond just including them to be a part of this character to be shown on big screen. For a lot of movies, the core message or the core structure maybe has to lean toward what Chinese people are really craving. The box office in China in 2019 is projected to have $11 billion in total, and this is in comparison of the $12 billion box office in projection in the U.S. And next year, China will become, if it's going on the curve, will become the biggest box office in the whole world. So I mean, it's not doubtly that the U.S., the Hollywood filmmakers wants to win the heart and mind of Chinese people. So meaning that including more Chinese creators, including more Chinese writers,